Hey there, 8th graders. In this video, I wanted to review sentence structure again. I'm going to be going over some of the exercises in your book on page 256. The sentence structure exercise M on that page 256. So I'm going to just go over each exercise, so definitely get your book and you can work along with me. Because you sent your quiz back from last week, and it was clear that many of you did not have a good understanding of it, okay? And there could be a number of reasons why. Obviously, me communicating through video was probably a struggle. Maybe you just didn't focus as well as you should have. Just maybe didn't have the necessary, know what the different conjunctions were. So just a lot of different reasons why it could have gone wrong, and so I'm just here to make another video, maybe to simplify something. But still, if you find that you just don't understand it, please contact me. Maybe I can do kind of a one-on-one thing, communicate with you and help you out with that, because you've got your test this week, and I want this section of the test to be just a 100%. I want you to do well with it. Let me review just the different types real quick. Of course, it's the simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and then the compound complex, combination of those two. Those are just the four types, and I think there are clear ways that you can see which one it is. You just have to know what it looks like. It's not really knowing what it does a whole lot, it's just being able to find those words, those key words, or things like a semicolon, and that will help you. Here's kind of my breakdown of it. I try not to be so wordy. I try to be as clear as possible, but maybe get you some paper, of course. Write these notes down. Anything that can help you. Okay. Simple sentence is just one sentence, one thought. Now let me stop right here and say, you don't really, when you're looking through the sentences, don't start with this one, because the simple sentence is the base. It's if you don't find any of these other things, it's going to be a simple sentence. So when you jump into a sentence, start looking and checking, is it compound? Start looking and checking, is it complex? Of course, that will help you with the compound complex. But if you don't find any of the other things, then go back and say, well, it must be simple. That's the way I would approach it. But it's just one idea, one sentence, one thought. It can have a lot of words in it, be a very large sentence, but it's still just one thought, one subject and verb. Okay? Sometimes I think if it's too simple, if it's too easy, we try to make it more complicated, and so that's why a simple sentence kind of can be difficult. But anyway, a compound sentence. Look at these words. If you see these words with a comma, you have to say this is possibly a compound sentence. There's another step to it though, okay? So your first step is to look and see if you have these words with a comma, and then of course semicolons. Now those are easy, you can find those, and many of you did, that wasn't a problem. But if it has these words with a comma, and it's two separate thoughts, okay? We'll see this probably in your book and your exercises, but I even saw it on your quiz. You saw this word and you saw a comma, but remember, that can just come between items in a series. The cat, dog, and the bird. Okay, that's not a sentence, but it does have a coordinating conjunction with a comma. Cat, dog, and bird. But that's not two separate thoughts. The cat, dog, and bird live in the house. Okay, that's just one thing, one idea. Okay, so just look for these words, look for a comma, and then look for two separate thoughts. You could put this in a sentence and this is a sentence, and then you know it's compound. Complex seemed to be one of the trickiest ones as I was looking over your quiz, okay? And I just cannot stress this enough. I don't know if this was the reason that you couldn't find the complex sentences, but if you don't know what your subordinating conjunctions are, then you're not going to be able to find the complex sentences. They are on page 302 in your book. I cannot list them all on the board because there's just too many, okay? So what I suggest right now, stop the video, pause it, go to page 203, and just write them down, okay? If those of you that, I had an idea that those of you that don't do well on the quiz, on the test this coming week, when we get back in class, I'm gonna have you write out your subordinating conjunctions a lot, okay? Because they gotta be some of the easiest. It's just so easy because if you know them, then you automatically know it's a complex sentence, okay? Here, I did put a few of them, some common ones. After, before, since, when. And it's easy to miss them because they don't always have commas. Sometimes they do, many times they don't, okay? You don't need a comma with those words. So you just have to be able to look and say, I know that's a complex sentence because it's got a subordinating conjunction. And like I said, they're on page 203. If you can't find them, comment on the board or send me an email, and I will try to, I'll try to help you out as much as I can. Compound, complex. If you've got these two down, okay, you know how to find a compound and you know how to find a complex. You should know how to find a compound complex because it just has both of them. It'll have a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon, and it'll have one of these subordinating conjunctions. Okay, it's just got both of them in the sentence. And and that was kind of tricky because many of you could find the complex, but you didn't find the compound part. Or you found the compound, but you didn't find the complex part. Well, if it has both of them, it has to be compound complex or it's wrong. Okay, so just making sure that you look in the whole sentence and find the whole answer. But if it doesn't have any of these words or the semicolon, then you know it's most likely a simple sentence. And you can just work with it like from that. So, I've got your workbook now. I'm going to go through these sentences on page 256, exercise B. And I got my pencil, okay, because I was circling the words. I, of course, have the answers. I don't have, but I'm working through the sentence. You can underline your subjects and verbs. Of course, that will help you to find the two separate sentences. But let's go through this. I'm going to go through 1 through 10 and try to do it as quickly, but taking time as well. Number 1 says, "Do not count your chickens before they hatch." Now, the first time I read that, one word popped out at me. I don't see any commas. Okay, so that helps me out that it's not compound. Remember, I'm not working with simple. I'm just starting right here. But I don't see any commas, and I don't see any of these words. No semicolon, can't be compound. Let's go right here. If you wrote down your words, look at your list. I actually have a word that's on the board right here. I have the word before. It is a subordinating conjunction. That automatically means I have a complex sentence. Okay? So I can go ahead and put complex in the blank. Circle the word before, it's right after the word chickens. Put complex in the blank. Now let's check. Do we have compound complex? Well, we already said we don't have a compound because there's none of those words, but it is complex, so it's just complex. It's not both. And it can't be simple because it's complex. We already have it, okay? You don't have to go any further. It is a complex sentence. If you wanted to go find your subjects and verbs, you can, but that word before automatically makes it complex. Okay, look at number 2. Few minds wear out, more rust out. Okay, this one should be fairly easy. Like I said, many of you were able to find these on your quiz because it has the semicolon. Okay, and you see the semicolon, it's compound. Double check though, because see if it has a subordinating conjunction. Just take a second look. Few minds wear out, more rust out. Look at your list. It's not a bad thing to go back and look at your list like with every sentence. That helps you memorize your words. It does not have any subordinating conjunction, so it's not complex. It is only compound. Okay, so you can put that in the blank, of course. Got the semicolon. Number 3. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. Okay? Not starting with this one. I'm going to start with the compound. Look for these words. Okay, we do have a comma. And we have the word but. Comma but. Let's just go back and check though, do we have a sentence on one side and a sentence on the other side? We know, well that's the subject and verb. Look at the second half. Know not what we may be. We do have subject and verb over there. We may be kind of thing. So we have two separate ideas, two separate subjects and verbs. So, compound. We know it's compound. Just take time so you can see it as well. Now let's check. Do we have any subordinating conjunctions? Okay, so we don't stop there. We keep going. Look at your list, if you will. I don't have the word up here, but we do have a clue word. It is the word what. Now that's not actually a subordinate conjunction, it's a relative pronoun. So I apologize if that was confusing. But they still introduce dependent clauses. What is it? Who, whom, which, what, that. So it might not be on your subordinate conjunction chart, but it is a relative pronoun. So I do apologize if that is confusing. But point is, it is complex. We know it's compound. We know it's complex. Compound, complex. That's what you put in the blank. All right. Number 4. An investment in knowledge pays the interest. An investment in knowledge pays the interest. Best interest. Do we have a coordinating conjunction? Okay. We don't have any commas. So we know it can't be that. Sometimes just looking for a comma can help you. We don't have any semicolons. So get that out of the way. Do we have any of the introductory words? If you're not sure, open your book to page 203 and check. We do not. Since it's not compound, it's not complex, it can't be compound complex, it has to be simple. And that's what it is. It's just a simple sentence. One idea. Number 5. I am prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. I am prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. Okay? Start right here. Look for a comma and coordinating conjunction. Now, if you noticed, we have a coordinating conjunction, but a proper sentence, a proper compound sentence, will not have a coordinating conjunction without that comma. So look back at your sentence. I am prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. Now you can go through and you can say, okay, where's the subjects and verbs? Do we have two separate thoughts? But the idea is you don't have a comma to separate them. So you really don't have to go any further. You know it's not compound. Even though it has a conjunction, you have to have the comma with it. Okay, I'm just trying to stress that. Not compound. Let's see if it has any other clue words. Take your time, look at it. It does not. Not compound, not complex, definitely not compound complex. It is another simple one, just one idea. I am prepared. That's your subject and verb. The rest is really just phrases, some prepositional phrases. Okay, number 6. I just gave you the answer. It is complex. Why don't you just go ahead and go search for the word, actually. It's on the board, if you've been paying attention to that. It's the word when. All right, so you see the word when right after enemies, making it complex. And there's nothing else. Okay, number 7. Try not to give the answer away this time. Number 7. What you are will show in what you do. Start right here. Do we have a special coordinating conjunction with a comma? It does not. We don't even have a conjunction, and we don't have any commas, any semicolons. No. Check. Well, if you're paying attention up there with number 3, you know that we have the word what. What is, the word what is a relative. It introduces dependent clauses, and we actually have 2 of them. What you are and what you do. Making it complex. Just complex. It's not compound. It's just complex. All right, so let's keep going. Number 8. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. Do we have a coordinating conjunction with a comma? We've got the word but. It's got a comma before it. But let's just double check. Do we have two separate thoughts? Yesterday is, okay, we've got an idea there. Yesterday is not ours to recover. That's a sentence. That's good. Look on the other half. Tomorrow is ours to win or lose. Yes, that is a separate thought all by itself. So we know it's compound. But let's keep looking to check and see if we have any other introductory words. Give me a second to look. We do not, no special words. It is only compound. So that's what you can put in the blank. Just compound. Number 9. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. Now I want you to take special note of this sentence. This is a good sentence to look at. Number 9. If we start right here, we're looking for these special words or a semicolon. We don't have any of those. But as you may notice, we have a couple of commas. We have one after fear and another one after fear, right? Kind of in there in the middle of the sentence. But these words do not appear in the sentence. Even though you have a comma, but you don't have one of these coordinating conjunctions, then you don't have a compound sentence. You have to have both of them. Comma and, comma for, comma or. You got to have both. So since we only have commas, this can't be a compound sentence. No semicolon, it's not. Well, let's look here. Do we have any special introductory words? Give me a second to look. We do not. Okay? No special, no relatives or subordinating conjunctions. So it can't be compound complex because it's neither one of those. It has to be only a simple sentence. And if you want to, you just go back. There's actually only one verb in the sentence. If you see it, it's the word is. The subject is courage is. The rest of those words are, basically just some prepositional phrases. So I really wanted you to see that even though it has a comma, it has to have a conjunction for it to be compound. Okay, number 10, last one. When you play hard. When you work, don't play at all. Okay. Kind of an easy one. I think you probably already saw the semicolon. Okay, so we know it's compound. You can go ahead and write that in the sentence. Let's check to see if it's complex. We have another special word. And again, if you were paying attention to number 6, and on the board, we have the word when. Right there in your book, we've got 2 whens actually. When you play, when you work. Now, you don't have to put complex, okay? Even though we've got 2 separate words. It's just compound, complex. The semicolon makes it compound, and the whens make it complex. All right, hopefully I was able to explain it and be a little bit more clear. Let me know if you still have questions. Even if it's just like one question, just email it to me or contact me somehow, and I'll try to do my best to help you. All right, good luck.